16% of students were repeating classes in addition to other subjects. This is 5% more than the typical student percentage in Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development or OECD countries. When compared to other nations, Indonesia has a relatively high percentage of underachieving students. As President Joko Widodo recognized, according to Jokowi's notes, Indonesia still has a sizable share of students who struggle. The separation of students into years of educations, grades or forms by about the same age is known as age segregations in school. Age grading or graded education. Its foundation is the idea that students of the same age and intellectual and social maturity level should be educated at the exact same paces. Now, the status quo is, which is that logic is the main problem. Children in the same age tend to be generalized to have this, to have that, while they have different pace in life. Why then is the existence of an age aggregation system in school is destructive? First, they are generalized to have the same capability, same experience, or emotionally and socially ability, which is not. They are pressured to have the exact same pace. Second, the seniority amongst the students, it is a fact that the children thinks that their senior is far way better or cooler. This is how, for instance, elderly learn to believe that young people are intolerant and lazy, and young people believe that seniors are weak, mentally and emotionally unstable, in which causing the age discrimination because it's there since we're growing up. Nearly 80% of older employees say they've seen or experienced age discrimination in the workplace. This exact problems happens because a reason. The root of age discrimination comes from the school system that believe a certain age have to experience something the same. The main problem is that many children have the capability above their age and they need to suppress it because their surroundings aren't in the same level of intelligence as them. If they study in an unencouraging environment, it will boost their potential way better. We believe that much crime would be reduced if children were more strongly connected to people of all ages in their community, particularly crimes involving children rebelling, crimes against society, and crimes against the elderly. Now, what will my team do and why? We will need to conduct a pre-test to group the kids according to their aptitude and IQ. As a result, there is no longer a distinction between what age children can study, and children will have their rights to study based on their intelligence. Their aptitude and IQ tests will determine how, or when, and even what class they will pursue. It is our belief that young people who have experience with people of a variety of age ranges and those who have had the opportunity to experience a gradual shift from childhood to independence have a more fulfilling experience growing up. Teaching the students in ability-based groups with project-based and discussion-based learning helps our students become successful, articulate, and well-rounded contributors to the society. Now, why do we need to abolish age segregation in primary and middle school years? We're going to talk about one main thing, the effectiveness that comes within the system. Now, underachievement is a concern that can have a particularly negative effect on children who are gifted, especially those who are profoundly gifted. People that are profoundly talented have IQs that are in the 99th percentile or higher and are highly intelligent. These students fall at the extreme of the IQ spectrum, scoring at least 3 standard deviations above the mean on the bell curve. Organizing them into a setting where they can get an effective education is one of the biggest problems in teaching these students. However, even in a school that offers a curriculum that is sufficiently academically demanding for the majority of students, individuals may not have their intellectual demands addressed, and even some profoundly gifted students end up being bored in school. As a result, some really talented students fail to maximize their potential. Environments that can promote underperformance frequently exhibit 5 points. The first one is lack of flexibility. Second one is disregard for the unique talents and patience of each student. The third one is excessive focus on mistakes and failures. The fourth one is a climate that is inappropriately teacher-centered. And the last one is an uninteresting but rewarding curriculum are all issues. Students who finally have the chance to enroll in academically difficult gifted programs may discover that they are unprepared to handle higher intellectual demands. These excellent kids can coast and rely on their innate brilliance in the absence of any actual challenge. Since everything comes effortlessly to them, their capacity for self-control and patience with obstacles may be weak. Gifted children are aware that they can differ from their classmates of the same age in a variety of ways, and this is particularly true for those who are profoundly gifted. For exceptionally brilliant children, developing a positive self-concept can be challenging, and generally speaking, the higher the IQ, the more challenging it is to find a sense of personal identity and make friends. Teachers and parents frequently wrongly demand talented individuals to perform well in all performance areas, even those outside of their area of strength, and gifted students' perceptions of themselves are frequently linked to their ultra-specific intensifiers. Underachievement becomes a factor for these students when their self-identity becomes too intricately wound up in their academic performance. Students tend to underachieve when they do not believe that they are capable of living up to expectations set by themselves and others. When profoundly gifted students' performance in school doesn't align with perception of their potential, their self-esteem and self-image can take a hit, causing them to slide into self-doubt and underachievement. That is why it is very important for the student to get the same portion or level of learning natural as their intelligence. We believe that placing students according to their personal aptitude will help them reach their full potential since they will be supported by environments that are on a par with their own level of proficiency. Because teachers will find it simpler to communicate the content without having to worry about students falling behind because they will all be working toward the same knowledge of the material. Though there is a possibility that will be a jealousy between the students' self-esteem of their age, it is not a big problem because we need to change the societal perspective of what age can do. It is better to work in our pace and boost the potential. The repeating class itself is a judgmental view that the society believes. So, our theme would abolish primary and middle school years that group children based on age and instead group them by competency and intelligence. Thank you.